Hi and welcome to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel. It's a lovely morning, the sun is shining here, and today's subject is very dear to me. It's very profound to me because it's been a challenge of mine since a child, and even today I work very hard towards clearing the energy of anger. First of all, how do we break down and understand anger, and why is it that we get angry so much, and why is it that we find it hard to not knee-jerk and fight back and answer back? These are all the questions that I love to ponder on and work on and try and understand. For the Buddha sat under a tree for 20 years, and I think a lot of the things that went through his mind and the observations that he saw and felt was part of the journey of life, and that's what we have to do now. I think the Buddha was very lucky, because to sit under a tree for 20 years is quite a wonderful thing, isn't it? Because we have to pay our mortgage and we have to work very hard to keep the wolves from our door. So sometimes we don't have that privilege to do that. But today's a good day, and we can try and maybe get some depth or some knowledge or wisdom in the understanding of anger. And I'm here to try and help you see, as I did over these years, and how it really helped my understanding, and how I was able to find my inner peace more. So let's start at the very beginning. You're a beautiful little baby, empty and filled with joy and love and excitement and all these wonderful things, but you've not experienced fear, anger, worry, pain and suffering as a child. All these things come to you. And how do they come to you? Well, first of all, you could have a beautiful mother who fills you with great love and compassion and happiness and kindness. And you can have a father who fills you with fear, anger, negativity and worry, or vice versa. You can have a brother and sister who can fill you with jealousy and anger and bitterness through their fear and worry. You see, all of the things that are filled into our heart are part of a journey that we experience through others. So I often use this terminology, or this kind of phrase that I was given a while ago about a baby going up to a fire, and the baby feels the warmth of the fire and hot, and it feels that and knows not to put its hand into the fire because it would burn. So the little baby feels the open fire and backs away and just about to move off. And the mother sees the little baby just about doing this, going, "What?" And the mother runs over and screams and picks the baby up. Now the baby all of a sudden feels this fear. And now there is an attachment between the fire and the baby through fear of the mother's fear, if you understand. I think what I'm trying to tell you is that you yourself are not an angry person. You are not filled with anger, and you are not born with anger. That's one thing you have to understand. It is a separate entity. It is a separate energy that you picked up, and it's become part of you, but it isn't you. It is not you. You are not angry. Even though you may say that you're angry, you're not. So once you realize that, you can look upon the reason why you feel the way you do is because of what may have happened to you over the years through different kinds of experiences that you felt and you went through. Okay, so that's one thing. The second thing I want to talk about anger is that what happens to our whole self and being to make this happen, and why? Well, I have a feeling, and I have kind of like this understanding to anger, and that some days you can put up with a family member very easily, okay? And you can be strong and happy, and you can sit with them and they're a pain in the backside. They say things that annoy you, but yet you're strong enough and you're feeling happy and you can walk away and actually you didn't do bad at all, you didn't react. And then there's days that you will sit with them and they'll do exactly the same thing, but this time you will react very badly. Why is that? Why is that person have said all these things to you one day and it didn't affect you, and the next day it did? Okay, that's because you yourself, there's nothing wrong with you. You're perfect, you're fine, you're loving, you're kind, and actually you just want a happy life. However, whatever happens to you from day to day is a build-up of energy. It could be that the energy that you haven't released, you need to. Therefore, I often tell people to go and exercise or go for a walk or clear yourself and meditate and find your peace. That's ultimately the best gift you can give yourself. So now you know that, it takes you to another step forward, another understanding that actually, no, that isn't anything to do with me. It's just to do with the energy that I'm carrying at any given moment. So that's step 2 kind of thing. Step 3 is a different energy completely. The energy of attack, or you may see something very bad happen, a man hitting a woman, or a child smashing or hitting a dog or a cat. You will run over and you will be angry and mad. That's a different form of energy, because that is a form of shock energy. And that shock energy is an instant reaction to do the right thing. So instead of being angry, you would go over and separate that and say, actually, this is wrong. We shouldn't be doing this, rather than screaming and shouting. So it's a different approach you can use. And thus you can clear that energy within you and within the person who is doing whatever they're doing normally. If you run over with anger and screaming, then anger is very infectious and causes more anger. See, anger is just a word, it's just energy. So by changing the way we see things and by changing the way we react, we can eliminate the energy of anger much easier. So today I sit here before you, and I feel as if I've not broken the mold completely of my father, but nearly. My father was a very angry and bitter and very sad man, in the sense of frustration from day to day because he hated his work. So he used to come home and be very angry. So that energy attached to us, it's called fear energy, or heavy energy. There's lots of different ways, but that attaches to you and you have to live in that environment. So if you're married to somebody, like my wife was married to me, with this anger and this pain and suffering I had because of my father, she too felt that, and it caused a lot of issues between us and everything else. But I've grown to see that and grown to become a better soul. So I'm here to tell you, as I tell thousands of people, you can change at any given moment. You can change at any given moment. You can make a decision to say, I am not going to be that anger or that negativity as my father or brother or whoever it may have been, partner. I am going to be a better soul. And that is a really powerful statement, because it means that you're saying that this energy is not me and I am going to overcome that. And you are going to overcome it. That's why you're watching this now. You're watching this now because I am here to tell you that no matter what your brain tells you or what anybody else tells you, you are not anger. Never. And you can be an amazing soul and clear anger if you just take these few simple steps towards love, peace, and happiness. That's what your life and your heart desires. That's all you desire. So for me, I turn my back on certain people with love, not with anger. The ones who used to make me feel frustrated or angry, or the ones who used me, or the ones who didn't really care at all, but they just kind of were there. And the ones who never really truly understood me and didn't want to understand me and wanted to change me and wanted me to be what they wanted me to be. So they were comfortable. No, I am who I am. And every day I develop myself. I become a different soul. I'm progressing all the time. And however I change, the right people who stay in your life are the ones who accept you for that change and love you for who you are and accept you for whatever path you decide to go on. They're the people that you hold their hand and stay with and love, because you can love them because they respect your journey. But if you are with people who are holding you back because you are frightened of moving forward, because whatever they're thinking and feeling about you is stopping you, then you have to make the decision to say enough is enough. I can't do this anymore. So you can either be a prisoner in other people's weaknesses, or you can stand stronger than that and say, I am now